Welcome back to the channel where we mix things up, and today we're going to be reacting to your guys' trade ideas, trade deadline special. So I think the trade deadline is either on March 14th or March 15th. Very close. It's coming up in like 5 or 6 days. That's crazy. It's going to be just so many trades in my opinion, because with the play-in tournament and with the East being so close, teams have a chance at making the playoffs, and there's no teams that are really trash. Yes, the West, there's probably some done seasons like the Timberwolves, the Thunder, the Kings are probably not making the playoffs, but a lot of teams have a good shot at making the playoffs. So there should be a lot of trades. We have 22 trades here. Be on the lookout for another community post if you want to be in a potential video. And before we get started, it would be greatly appreciated if you subscribe to the channel. Here on the Mix channel, we make constant NBA content that you're surely going to enjoy, while also leaving a like if you like the videos. With that being said, let's begin. Also, I would like to say that I actually got a new microphone. I know a bunch of you guys were talking about it, and I knew that I have to make better quality audio, so I was willing to make that investment. Comment down below if you thought there was any difference. I personally, from rewatching this video, I think it's a lot better, but comment down below your thoughts. So let's begin. First with Aiden Toppin, and he says, "Not my idea, got it from TikTok. Timberwolves get Carson Edwards, Robert Williams, Eric Bledsoe, and 2 firsts. The Celtics get Semi Ojeleye, Jarrett Culver, Romeo Langford, Kemba, and a second. The Celtics get Cat, Lonzo, and JJ Redick." Okay, first of all, why would the Timberwolves trade Cat and Jarrett Culver for Carson Edwards, who doesn't get any playing time, Robert Williams, who is a 20-minute guy, Eric Bledsoe is on a terrible contract, and 2 first-round picks? I don't really think this is a really good offer for the Timberwolves. And I would personally consider trading Jarrett Culver for this package. And there's no way you're throwing Karl Anthony Towns, the franchise player, for this little value. If you're trading Cat, you need a deal from the Bulls for Wendell Carter Jr., Lauri Markkanen, Kobe White, Otto Porter, maybe even Patrick Williams, and 5 first-round picks or 4 first-round picks for Cat. Now for the Pelicans, they trade Eric Bledsoe, Lonzo, and JJ Redick for Semi Ojeleye, Jarrett Culver, Langford, Kemba in a second. I think that's pretty good for them, mainly because Culver's still a young asset. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know why the Timberwolves would do this. Semi Ojeleye is a good 3-and-D player. Romeo Langford has some 3-and-D potential. Kemba, yes, is on a bad contract, but with this shot creation and floor spacing, I think it would be a pretty good fit alongside Zion and BI. And a second, just to sweeten the pot. Celtics, there is no way they're getting this trade up. You have to trade Jaylen Brown probably, or maybe not Jaylen Brown, but the Timberwolves don't want Kemba, but they're trading Kemba, Langford, Ojeleye, Williams, Edwards, for Cat, Lonzo, and JJ. Okay, the T-Wolves are getting finessed here. And the Pelicans and Celtics are getting too much value for the amount they're giving up. The next trade comes to us from Zson, and he says, the Toronto Raptors receive Mo Bamba, Orlando Magic receive Aaron Baines, and 2021 first-round pick. So, honestly, this can be a win-win trade. Okay, so I think this is a decent trade. I mean, the Raptors, they can definitely salvage Mo Bamba's career. He's probably going to be starting or coming off the bench for Chris Boucher. Now, the Magic, I'm not exactly sure. I don't really think they need Aaron Baines when they already have Vooch and Khem Birch, with Steve Clifford said he loves that lineup. Now, the first-round pick is interesting to build on the future, and because Mo Bamba isn't really doing anything, you get basically a first-round pick that will probably be around the 17 to 22 range. I think this is a pretty good trade, mainly because, I mean, the first, 20-round pick for Mo Bamba is a pretty good deal. The Raptors, I mean, this draft is pretty good, and they can probably snag someone better, but Mo Bamba still has a lot of upside. The next trade comes to us from Double Double, and he says, Kyrie Irving for Russell Westbrook. Yeah, David Lillard, we got the big 3 back. Yeah, the Nets aren't doing this, of course. I mean, why would they want to? I mean, Russ, KD, Harden didn't really work. I mean, Russ's shooting is just not good. I mean, for the Wizards, I'd probably do this. I would definitely do this. Next double to trade Danny Green for Barack Obama. Okay. Joe Ingles, Alex Caruso, the GOAT, and Taco Fall to the Nuggets for Will Barton in a second. I don't really know how this trade works because they're all on different teams. And why would you trade a GOAT for Will Barton and a second round pick? But okay, sure. Tukey, Evan Fournier for the trade exception, a first round pick, and a second round pick. Okay, I think this is a pretty interesting trade, mainly because the Magic are probably going to lose Evan Fournier in free agency unless they want to re-sign him, which they have been doing recently with all of their players re-signing Vooch. I think Vooch, I guess kind of Markelle Fultz. They're kind of locking it into this core, so they might want to like free up some cap space. They get a first round pick, which can be pretty nice. I mean, it's the Celtics pick, so probably won't be amazing, but still can be decent. And a second round pick. I guess, yeah, I'm cool with this trade. Next from Mr. George, and he says, Vucevic to the Warriors for Wiggins, a second round pick, and the Wolves pick. Okay, I actually like this deal a lot. I've seen a lot of Vucevic trades to the Warriors, and I normally see James Wiseman and the Wolves pick, but I don't really think they have to give up Wiseman, mainly because he's so young, and the Wolves pick is so valuable. And I think I would do this for both sides. The Wolves pick, they basically got that for D'Lo, which they got from the sign and trade from KD. So they basically trading D'Angelo Russell in a second for Vooch, which isn't bad, personally. I mean, Wiggins has been really good. You might want to keep him. But, I mean, it matters if you think Kelly Oubre can be a long-term plan. The Wolves pick can be amazing. So it's basically, do you want to choose between the present or the future? You have Steph Curry for about, like, 3 to 4 more years of his full prime MVP Curry. I think he can play all the way to 40. But you might want to go all in and just mortgaging this Wolves pick. Yes, it could probably be better for the longevity of this Warriors team. But with Steph Curry in his prime, I think this is a pretty good deal that you're basically mortgaging a lot of the future with Wiggins and the Wolves pick. It's just you have to decide between, do you want the future or the present? The next trade is from Marco, and he says, the Lakers get Kemba, Celtics get Kuzma, Kostas, and 2 first-round picks. No. First of all, salaries, I don't really think salaries work because Kemba's making $25 million, $30 million. This is about $3 million because Kuzma's still on his rookie deal. And I don't really think the Lakers really want Kemba with Dennis Schroeder. And yes, they would probably take his 3-point shooting, but lock it up into a salary is not good. And I don't think they can trade any first round picks. And I don't think anyone would be willing to trade 2 first round picks for Kemba. For the Celtics, if you can match the salary somehow, you probably... Yeah, they don't have a trade exception. The salaries will not work at all. But getting Kuzma, a nice defender, which you never want too many perimeter guys, and just removing all the salary, if the salary is matched, I would do this with the Celtics, not the Lakers. Next trade comes to us from Batman, and he says, Raptors get Danny Green, Tyrese Maxey, Mike Scott, Terrence Ferguson, a first-round pick. 76ers get Kyle Lowry. I think this is a really good trade for both sides. Okay. I personally think the Raptors should no longer trade Kyle Lowry because they're like the 16 now. And just trading Kyle Lowry shows they're in a rebuilding mode. But just getting Danny Green for cap filler is going to expire. Tyrese Maxey being a pretty good player on both sides with a lot of upside. Mike Scott for salary. Terrence Ferguson still showed a lot of potential in Oklahoma. And a first round pick is pretty solid. You might want to add a second round pick along with it. Now for the Sixers, I think Lowry is an amazing fit. Lowry, Curry, Simmons, Tobias, and Embiid would be really good. And Kyle Lowry just provides that leadership, hitting some clutch shots, which they really need. I like this trade for both sides, but I don't know if the Raptors are willing to give up Kyle Lowry. Next from Bam, and he says Warriors get Tucker and Oladipo. Rockers get Wiggins, Warriors first round pick. Okay, just these 2 are expiring, so I'm not exactly sure if you want to give up the Timberwolves first. Though I do see why Bam wants to give up this Warriors future first. Now, that might be pretty good. I mean, I don't know what's going to be in 4 years of the future. But yeah, I think this is a pretty good deal. Tucker, Oladipo can clamp up. Rockets get rid of Wiggins. I mean, you're not going to get much from Oladipo. They should have kept Karras, no doubt. But I guess Wiggins, hopefully they can salvage career. And the first is pretty nice. Next, Batman again, and he says the Bulls get Danny Green, Tyrese Maxey, and 3 first-round picks for Zach LaVine. I don't think this is enough for Zach LaVine. I think you have to give up Matisse Thybulle too. Now, those 3 first-round picks aren't going to be too good. And this is just too much of a step back for the Bulls, losing Zach LaVine, and I think that they are in playoff contention right now. I think LaVine on the Sixers would be such an amazing fit with his 3-point shooting and just overall athletic cutting ability, and I think it would be a really good fit. I think the Bulls do need more for an all-star. Next trade comes to us from Stuff Space, and he says the Magic get Marcus Smart, Robert Williams, and a first-round pick, and 2 second-round picks. The Boston Celtics get Vooch. Okay, so I think you probably, for Vooch, you probably don't want to trade Marcus Smart, but rather get like a trade exception. And I don't really think Marcus Smart does anything on this Magic team. I think you would have to give up Aaron Nesmith, those 2 first, Robert Williams, and maybe Peyton Pritchard. I'm not exactly sure. That might be a bit too much. But I do think that there's no value in Marcus Smart to the Magic team, though his value is so much higher on the Celtics than the Magic. Robert Williams, I guess they get another center, which I don't know if they really want. First round pick, it probably won't be too good, and the seconds are second round picks. Next trade comes to us from Arav, and he says the 76ers get Oladipo, Rockets get Danny Green, Tony Bradley, 2021 unprotected first, and a 2023 second round pick. I like this trade a lot. I do like it. Victor Oladipo can hit his 3-point shots, can defend, which is a good identity for the Sixers team, being able to clamp up. Then the Rockets get an expiring Tony Bradley. They're probably going to waive him. But just that first-round pick for someone who's probably going to leave soon would be pretty good. Now, I do think it's going to be like around the 26 to 30 range, so that probably won't be too good. But at least you get some value for Oladipo. Now, it's kind of sad that you got Danny Green, Tony Bradley, 9 first-round picks, and a second-round pick for James Harden. I don't really think that value is too much for James Harden. I mean, yes, 9 first-round picks is crazy, but I definitely think the Rockets should have kept Caris LeVert. Now, the next trade comes to us from Zson again, and he says Lonzo Ball for Patrick Beverley. The Pelicans won't do it. Lonzo has been really good recently. I'll like it for the Clippers. Next from Marco again, and he says the Kings get Kemba Walker. Celtics get Fox and Montrez. Lakers get Smart. I think this is too much value for Kemba Walker. And once again, I mean, they are trading Walker and Smart for Fox and Trez. This is actually an interesting deal. Kings, Walker. Okay, the Kings would never trade De'Aaron Fox. I think that's a no question. There's no reason for them to trade the guy who they just gave him max extension to, no matter how good. And he can play next to Halliburton, so there's no excuse to trade Fox. Trez for Smart, I think, is a pretty good deal, though I do think that they want more size. It's a pretty lopsided it's a very interesting trade, very skeptical, but it's very interesting to think about. Next trade comes to us from Roger, and he says Nets get Aaron Gordon, Magic gets Spencer Shaman, and 2 second-round picks. I like this trade a lot. Aaron Gordon can play small ball 5, being able to shoot. Athletic can guard the perimeter and the post. I think he's an amazing fit on both ends. And the Magic get an extra ball handler who, it's kind of sad that you have 3 guys on your team that just got an ACL tear in Spencer, Isaac, and Fultz, but Shamit's still a good shooter, a couple seconds. It matters how good Jonathan Isaac is when he comes back, but I guess this is fine. Now, next trade comes to us from Kidu, and he says Julius Randle on a first for Bradley Beal. As a Knicks fan, I don't want this to happen, but I would be hugely upset if it did. I don't think this is gonna happen for the Wizards. Julius Randle, yes, he's 26, and the first is probably going to be like 15 range, but I don't really think this is going to happen. I do think that Bradley Beal would be a really good fit on the Knicks to change their whole culture, giving you a bucket, which the offense has really been struggling. Julius Randle, I don't really think this is a realistic trade for both sides, but thanks for the trade. Next, we got from Aiden again, and he says, Cavs get Goga Badatse in a second. Nuggets get Oladipo. Rockets get Bol Bol, Gary Harris, Doug McDermott, Jakar Sampson, a second and a future first. Pacers get House Jr., PJ Tucker, and McGee. Okay, so the Cavs trade, let's see, they trade JaVale McGee for Goga Badatse in a second. I would definitely do that, get younger. Nuggets trade Bol Bol, Gary Harris, and Gary Harris for Oladipo, which I do think is a pretty good trade, especially Bol Bol hasn't been playing. Oladipo is a major upgrade from Gary Harris. I think that's really good. And the Rockets trade House PJ Oladipo for Bol Bol, Gary Harris, McDermott, and a first. I think this is actually a really good trade for all sides. I mean, JaVale McGee is going to be off the bench. PJ Tucker can play the 3, 4, or 5. House going to provide so much depth. I think this is actually a really good trade for all sides. I can see why every team would do this. Next trade comes from Who Is Better, and he says the Lakers get Norman Powell, Raptors get THT and Matthews in a second. I don't really think the salary works in this one, but Norman Powell would be a pretty good fit on the Lakers, being able to be a decent defender, being able to hit his 3-point shots at like a 40% clip. Now, I don't know. I mean, okay. I guess the Raptors, I think Norman Powell is a good fit on the Raptors, but he's just an expiring deal. And just cashing in on a young player in Taylor, watching him, I do think he isn't as good as Lakers fans say, but he definitely has he shows a lot of glimpse on both ends. Matthews is a 3-and-D guy. He hasn't been too good in his second. I guess it's a decent trade. And finally, the last trade comes to us from Damian Lillard. And he says the Blazers get Giannis and Drew Holiday. Bucks get Enes Kanter, the GOAT. Well, I think you know what's going to happen. So yeah, that's going to be my reaction to your trade deadline special, also reacting to your trades. So comment down below what you thought of these trades. Comment down below what you think how the mic was. Subscribe, like the videos, and I'll see you on next time.